Boys and girls, everybody in betwixt, it's your boy King Prime.
It's your boy Sire the God.
You know who we be?
TDIP. Obviously.
And we need your help. Guys, we want to be put forward and we want your nominations for the ITVB Creators Best Podcast Award. All right? Basically, all you need to do is to nominate your boys. That's all we want right now is a nomination link. We're going to give you the link in the description box. All you need to do is sign up, put your email address in there, put that you are a subscriber or follower, put our YouTube link, which is obviously right above our heads there, and then you want to nominate us for 3 categories, but whatever works for you guys. Best Entertainer, Best Podcast, and Rising Star. Okay, that's all you need to do. They might ask you for a few questions about which one of our videos is your favorite video. Put whatever you like.
Don't care. Because we just want you to vote, guys. That's all we want you to do.
Yes.
Okay? It's a big opportunity for us to be on that stage on behalf of you.
Absolutely. So all you need to do is put your favorite clip of whatever video that we have dropped. It doesn't matter what one it is. Just put it there and then hit submit. That's all you need to do. All right? The link is in the description. Please, please, please nominate your boys for the ITVB Creators.
And share the link, guys. Feel free.
Oh, yeah, do that.
Share the link.
Yeah.
You know, friends, family, we need everyone behind us right now. Yeah?
Absolutely. Please do so. And obviously, we are doing this because we love you. All right? Until next time, TDIP family, we will say
peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in betwixt, it is your boy King Prime.
It is your boy Sire the God.
You know who we be.
TDIP, obviously.
And we're back with another Reacts for your net back. All right, little left field about what we're delving into. Sire, what you got for me?
So this is obviously you actually introduced me to the series Adolescence. Even though I started off watching it, I kind of didn't watch it. So I put it on and then I kind of was doing other things. So I didn't actually watch it. But you told me to watch it.
Yes,
and I did watch it. And I got a mixed message from the film. The film was like the series was really good. Obviously, the way it's shot, you mentioned the way it's shot is smooth and that's true. Yeah. But there's a lot of controversy around it. There's a lot of opinions, opposing opinions. You know what I mean? Where some people literally interpret it in this way and some people interpret it in this way. So I thought we'd bring this young lady. Because she seems to kind of, from her opinion, break down what she considers it's about. Okay. Yeah. Now I've watched maybe about 5 minutes, and I thought, we should react to this. Okay. So we'll see what I go on. You let me know what you think and what your opinion is of the whole thing.
Let's go.
On with young men right now, and why does it feel scary? Adolescence is a cultural intervention. In 4 tense, real-time episodes, each shot in a single take, it dives deep into the heart of a crisis that's been quietly building for years. Toxic masculinity.
Never say going to bed. Going to bed is emasculate. Cowards need sleep. I'm going to work.
Is that your king, bro? Is that your king, bro? That's your boy, yeah? I'm sorry, bro. That's the stupidest thing he's ever said.
But say cowards.
If cowards go to bed, blood.
What do you mean, lad?
Fool, shut up, lad.
Online radicalization.
Life for a man is harder than life for a woman. We need to have a lot of to be an important man. To be a woman, you need makeup.
And the rise of male violence, especially against women, often at shockingly young ages. Created by Stephen Graham, who also plays Jamie's dad, and written by Jack Thorne, Adolescence begins with a family in crisis. A 13-year-old boy, Jamie Miller, is arrested after unaliving a female classmate. This show is not a mystery show. It's a psychological autopsy, a dissection of how a kid ends up here. And it centers the question that we keep avoiding. What is happening to our boys? Our men? The answer, or at least one we'll explore in this video, is this. A lot of young men right now are spiraling down a digital rabbit hole that teaches them to resent women because they've never been shown how to accept themselves. And the girls around them, they're left to carry that damage, like they always have been. A lot of men are down bad right now. There is a male loneliness epidemic.
It is pretty clear. Partnerless men, childless men, they don't do so well. In fact, they do terribly. And in modern society, that's a problem.
Depression rates among young men are rising. Male loneliness is quietly becoming one of the most serious public health crises we're not talking about. And for many of them, especially those who struggle with connection, intimacy, or rejection, life without meaningful relationships, especially with women, can start to feel unbearable. And when you're in that state, when you're isolated, angry, and confused, the manosphere shows up with easy answers.
Men have to earn their value, women don't.
It offers a script. It's not your fault. Women are the problem. The system is rigged. Just wake up. It feels like empowerment, but it's actually...
Sorry, this isn't anything to do with the video per se, but using this guy and this guy.
I think this is where I get a bit this is a little bit like, I don't know, it's sounding a little bit disingenuous in terms of how it's being put. Well, okay, we're only a couple of minutes in, so we have to give it, let it cook a bit. But using these two men, according to the internet, the worst type of men to listen to as examples, kind of bad taste at the moment. Yeah. But then again, obviously she's using it as an example of how men are supposed to be perceived, I guess, to a certain degree. Like, but this is the thing. Okay, so this is what I've noticed even with the first 2 minutes. Yeah, they keep on bringing up Andrew Tate. Yeah, and Andrew Tate is a person, but he's not like. He's not the king of men. He's not the king of men. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so why they frame it as though he's like our savior, our messiah. Like, how is that even? Why are they framing it like? Yeah. That? And because when they say things like the manosphere, because obviously look, the title is how the manosphere is radicalizing. I seem to have recalled Andrew Tate saying the people from the manosphere are all pussies and all that. Yeah. I don't know, all that. He dissed the manosphere. Yeah. In fact, he dissed things like Red Pill. Mm-hmm. He didn't like it, although obviously he came onto their podcast at one point. But loads of people have been on their podcast. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean you're in Red Pill. Precisely. Like, it just means that they invited you because there's girls and you went. And you went. Yeah. All right, cool. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the man. So I just think it's it sounds like a bit of a cop out to just constantly be bringing up Andrew Tate. Yeah. As if he is the be all and end all. Yeah. Like, he's not. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's a guy and he speaks his mind, and let him speak his mind. If people want to follow him, they can follow him. But he's not the speaker of men. No. You feel me? He's not. Like, why we keep on bringing his name up? I don't know.
Women don't.
It offers a script. It's not your fault. Women are the problem. The system is rigged. Just wake up. It feels like empowerment, but it's when it's okay to punch your wife, like, because instead of helping men heal,
when it's okay to punch your wife?
Wait, what was that? Like,
Human
2010 by Paul. Oh yeah, but hold on. What is this? The voice from me. Might be.
This is
all right. Out of context. Okay. I can't. It's absolutely out of context. Absolutely, I'm not gonna. That could be just a clickbait.
Yeah. Like, feels like empowerment, but it's actually a trap. Because instead of helping men heal or grow, it feeds the very pain they're trying to escape. And what makes Adolescence hit so hard is that it doesn't sensationalize. It doesn't give us a clean villain. It just holds up a mirror. It reflects something that a lot of women have been feeling for a long time. That male insecurity, when nurtured in the wrong spaces, doesn't just stay online. It turns into entitlement, then rage, then harm. Jamie, played with eerie realism by first-time actor Owen Cooper, is not cartoonishly evil. He's not a caricature, and that's what makes him all the more terrifying, because what he is familiar. A lonely kid growing up online, exposed to voices like Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, and others pushing a version of masculinity.
All right, so Fresh and Fit weren't brought up in Adolescence, first of all.
No,
there
not
was
at all.
no reference to Fresh and Fit.
Not at all.
So
Yeah.
we should really stick to what the actual film was.
Precisely. Precisely.
There was no instance in which the boy was associated with Andrew Tate.
Not at all.
At all.
Not at all.
Yeah. However, he was online.
Yeah.
Like most, my 12-year-old is on Snapchat. He's on TikTok. They're online.
Yeah.
When I was 12, it was online, MSN Messenger and all them thing there. We were online.
We were.
It is what it is.
Facts.
Now, the online language is like they banter. There's a lot of banter online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think. I don't know. Me basically saying that is to say, I don't know if you can really make this link. I'm not sure if you can make this link, like, because when I watched it, I felt to myself that it wasn't just talking about the manosphere. It was talking about, it had different layers to it. So it was talking about the family as well. The family, like what does a family who overlook their child or let their child just sort of do what they want to online, or like what do they look like? What does that family look like? He came from a 2-parent household. You know what I mean? Which seemed pretty intact. But what does it mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? Does that actually means to me that, you know, you do have these kind of families, but where they've been neglected in some way, that is part of the problem, where you're neglecting your boys.
But absolute facts, bruv. Because they say that these kind of things there, it's whether it be a man slapping up a woman, or whether it be a woman just out here just busting it open for $9.99 on OnlyFans, they always say it's fatherless behavior. This man had his father in his life,
His house.
but because, like you said, the father didn't pattern up and see Wagwan, didn't know what was going on in his son's laptop or phone, my man ended up duppying my girl with his father in the house. This is getting interesting, bro. This is getting very interesting.
To voices like Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, and others pushing a version of masculinity built on dominance, emotional detachment, and control. He's not indifferent to women, he fixates on them, desires them, but also fears and resents their power. Katie, the girl that Jamie likes, rejects him and mocks him publicly on Instagram by calling him an incel. And that word cuts him, but it doesn't just insult him, it names his fear that he's undesirable, invisible, powerless. And instead of sitting with that discomfort or being taught how to process it, Jamie reacts in the way he's seen modeled online, with rage. His best friend gives him a knife just to scare her, but it doesn't stop there. All that rejection, shame, and the confusion bubbles over, and it ends in a tragedy that we can't name directly here, but you know what happens. The show.
Can we just address this incel thing again? When the incel thing came up in the show, it came up in the show. It did. But what I find when I'm really, because this person might this is clearly from her perspective. This is clearly her worldview, and it seems like it's from a female perspective. So I think that's what I'm getting from her. But the word incel, is like, to me, it's like skibbity toilet, bruv. It's like it's just some shit that they say online.
Yes.
Okay. Some shit that happens online, and they say that shit. But what Ashley Walters said one thing inside there. What 13-year-old is not a freaking incel, bruv? Most 13-year-olds are involuntarily celibate. Like they're just not in it.
That's facts.
They're just
Facts.
not in that world yet.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They're not supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be in that world. Some are. Look, there's going to be outliers. There's going to be exceptions to the rule. Some
Facts.
are. But the majority of 13-year-olds, girls and boys, are not in that world.
They're not supposed to be, bro.
So what? So to me, I'm like, what? Why are we focusing on this incel as if the incel is the big crowd? Oh my God, like we've got this big incel crisis.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Have we done enough research to suggest that incels are killing people on scale?
Yeah.
Have you heard that before?
No, but I have not. I have not.
So basically, it's just a gaggle of incels, bruv. Just a crew of incels, bruv. Just a swarm.
A congregation
of incels just out here just killing people.
No,
I've not heard that. I've not seen it.
Where's the stats on that?
Where's the stats on that? Like, I really like. I really do want to know.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Because it doesn't seem like that's it. Oh my God, we got to be afraid of the incels. But what? So all these people, all these 12... And why they do this with a 12-year-old as well, and a 13-year-old as well? Because if they really wanted to make a point about the manosphere, they would be talking about 18, 19, 20, 21... Like from about 18 to like 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
These are the people who really listen to the manosphere, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And that. Do you know what I mean? And actually take it seriously.
Do you know
because
what? not necessarily, because you do have them odd 45, 50-year-old dons.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm saying from anywhere from 18 upwards.
Yeah.
That's where you're taking it seriously because you're actually in the dating world.
Yes.
You're actually interacting with women in a properly meaningful way. So you know, so that's where the manosphere comes up.
These men are at school, blood.
Man, I had school blood. Like, why are we?
That's so flipping funny, blood.
It's like, what do we have a band of 13-year-old incels, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I can't fathom that is what, and that's why I think that the show is really good.
Yeah.
But we can't lose we can't lose the fact that this is a fictional tale.
Yes.
It's not real.
No, not at all.
This is why it baffles me when I hear like freaking Keir Starmer like talking about we're putting it in all the schools. It's like, but it's not real. Why are you letting that dictate your policy?
Okay.
Like,
Is that what he actually said? Putting it in schools?
they're putting it in schools.
But that's the last thing they need to do. That putting this in schools does not eradicate the problem, bro. If they're gonna put it in schools, bro, play it in the fucking staff room, blood.
Yeah.
Blood, play this in the staff room for your idiot teachers, blood. Because the reality is that, like, this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys, as the teachers, as educators, as adults, as parents, we're supposed to be battling this stuff. We're supposed to be looking about our kids, managing what they're doing online. Kids are dumb. All right, plain and simple. Kids are dumb. They may act like big. They may act big. They may act like they know it all. But at the end of the day, kids are stupid. Right? And the fact that you want to show this in schools for the students, for fucking what?
For what, man? And I don't think it gives the right message, because what you're giving, the message you're giving is that it's going to create fear and panic within a school.
Exactly.
First of all, like, why are you mandating that kind of thing? Fear and panic. The boys are gonna feel like, oh my God, I'm just this like oppressive.
Yeah.
And then the girls are gonna just be all like, oh my God, that could happen.
Yeah, that could happen to me.
Like that is not the place to be playing something
last
like that.
Place, bro.
This is a fictional tale. Like, just simmer down.
Please.
Simmer down, bro.
Please simmer.
Netflix Adolescence will be aired for free in secondary schools across Britain as director celebrates We Did It.
That is so dumb. That's the last thing you need to do.
That is going to make things worse. That's going to make things worse. Starmer, who admitted he found it really hard to watch the program with his teenage children, said he supported the decision to make groundbreaking series available in schools.
So wait, hold on a second. You're just trying to make that in great. Wait, hold on a second. You're causing it groundbreaking, but you are finding it difficult to watch it with your youths.
Exactly.
Move. Shut up, blood. Nah, man, this is why I understand why people want to slap Keir Starmer in his face, blood. This guy, these people, the people that run this country are on vibes, blood.
Yeah.
These men are joke men.
They really are just there for banter.
Brother.
They're not serious. Showing this series will help students better understand the impact of misogyny, dangers of online radicalization, and the importance of healthy relationships, his office added. Again,
hold on.
It's not, because I tell you what people will get from this series.
Oh my God.
They'll get that you had a girl that was bullying a boy, and the boy said, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill it." So there's something wrong with that boy.
Facts.
But there's also something wrong with the system where the bullying, that's also wrong.
Yes, it is.
So you've got a young dynamic, which is both wrong. One obviously clearly wrong, more wrong than the other, because you killed someone. You feel me? But none of it really suggests that there's a huge impact. Like it wasn't a misogyny issue.
It wasn't, bruv.
It was a dumb boy issue.
Bruv, and that's exactly what it is. And the joke is, right, they're trying to say this is going to show this in schools, bruv. If you watch Adolescence, bruv, there was no resolution.
Yeah.
There was no resolution. Nobody said, you can't do this to gal.
Yeah.
Nobody said to any of the future girls, you can't do this to boys. It just showed a man duppying the girl, man getting interviewed, going into psychological assessment, and then that's the end of it. And
then the impact that had on the dad and whatnot.
Brother, this
I still to this day don't know why they spray painted nonce on his thing.
So many open doors in this whole thing, blood. So many open doors, bruv. Like, remember, like you've got a son in secondary school. I've got a daughter in secondary school.
Yes.
I promise you, if they come and tell me, oh, they're showing this in school tomorrow, I'm telling them walk out of class. I'm telling my daughters to walk out of class. There's absolutely no reason for you to watch that in that setting.
In school. Like, if you're gonna watch it, you're gonna watch it with us as parents, so we can tell you what this is about. Like, not. I don't want the schools dictating like their agenda of what this is about.
Yeah.
Like, because to me, it's not about what a lot of people were saying.
Precisely.
It's not.
It's really not, bruv. It's really not. It's so left the way they're going about this whole thing. It's comical.
So through Labour's classroom guidance is still being developed. So it's still being developed at the moment, and it's understood to include it is understood to include content to support healthy relationships, to enable schools to tackle harmful behaviour and ensure that misogyny is stamped out and not allowed to proliferate. Now, this is the thing. Again, they focus on this word misogyny and not misandry, because the fact that you're bullying a guy and calling him an incel, that's misandry.
They seem to they're honing in on my man.
Yeah.
When my girl was the main protagonist first off. Yeah, obviously what he did was the worst thing.
It was much worse.
But why did he do it?
But are we going to also address the fact that
you can't bully, man.
Bullying.
You can't bully him.
Bullying is something that they really don't want in schools. They really promote that bullying is not something that is good to do in school. They shouldn't be doing it, so on and so forth. So it's not justifying murder.
No, not at all.
But what it does show is misandry, and if you want to call it misogyny, just because he turned around and killed her.
But
I don't think you.
No, brother, no. Call it what it is, bruv. That's not misogyny, blood.
It's
idiocy.
It's idiocy.
It's misandry and idiocy.
Yeah.
She bullied him. He retaliated.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It was not because he hated her.
Yeah.
It's because he was unstable and decided to murk her off.
Yeah.
Like, what is this, bruv?
Yeah.
Nah, bruv, listen, we're not even 4 minutes into the blood side thing, blood.
Fuck, you know.
We're not even 4 minutes into the thing, blood. This is, man. I did not know they were showing this shit in schools.
Bruv, they are about to show this shit in schools, bruv.
Nah, my daughter's not watching that. I promise you my daughter's not watching that. I'm telling her to leave the classroom, bruv. That is insane. That is insane what you've just said, bro.
Hold on. From as early as primary school, children will be encouraged to express and understand boundaries, handle disappointment, and pay attention to needs and preferences of oneself and others
In schools.
with content modified for older children to reflect real life complexities of romantic and sexual relationships. Bro,
No.
leave the shit out.
No.
Okay, this is what I'll say about that shit.
Yeah.
Leave parenting to parents. Maths, English, science.
That's you lot. That's where you live. That's your wheelhouse.
Maths, English, science.
Yeah. These man, bruv, listen, as Aaron the plumber says, they're not qualified,
They're
blood.
not qualified, bro. Like that, schools are not qualified to be teaching these things.
Nah.
Leave it to the parents, bruv, because it's like, what are you doing, like,
Brother,
you're just
listen, there is, bruv, in schools, there are probably one teacher to every 20 students.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just spitballing here. How on earth are they gonna push this forward and mandate this when they can't? There's I am confident they do not know what's going on 100% of the time in their halls, and they want to tackle something like this because it blew up on social media. But I promise you, there is a kid troubled in that school right now, and nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
But yet they want to bring this to the forefront, brother. These teachers, this is why I've been on my kids' mum about homeschooling, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust these bruv. School was rubbish when we were kids.
Yeah.
You think I trust them now?
These new age schools where everything's a little bit woke and it's like everything seems to be it's very female led. So you don't get enough male teachers like you used to get.
Nah, not at all.
So it's very unbalanced
Yes.
in terms of in school. So you're getting a one way of trying to deal with children. There's one perspective on how to deal with children, which is from the female lens, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be a balanced thing. You know what I mean? There should be male-led initiatives.
Yes.
To get to allow boys to learn differently.
Yes.
Or just integrate differently within the school. You know what I mean? And it should that's how it should be. You should be thinking that what they do. I've got a lyric here that says they're looking for ways around it when the problem is the cause. It's like fixing a bridge only after somebody falls. Yeah, so it's like you're looking at trying to patch up the issue, yeah, but you're not looking at what the core is. The core is, yeah, that you've got boys that are being left out. They don't feel like they've got any sort of proper voice.
Yes.
They're this day and age, they're constantly told they ain't shit.
Yes.
Constantly told that you know they need to shut up.
Yes.
They're toxic.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Every turn, they're constantly told that they're rapists
Yes.
or misogynists in
Yes.
some way. Any sort of thing that they say that goes against a woman, they're told, oh no, you can't say that. Like, where are you allowed to be yourself as a man? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are the core issues that you need to tackle when it comes to this situation. These are the core issues, not Andrew Tate, blood. Like Andrew Tate is not
He's not the king of men, blood.
Yeah, if Andrew, he's not the king of men. Yeah, it's just
And he's not the king of men, blood.
Plain and simple, he's not the king of men.
Yeah.
Like he's not. He's clearly he said he's not in the manosphere. Anyway. I don't know what that's about. Like and trying to heavily link the manosphere to this movie is, I think, a bit disingenuous.
It is, bruv.
It didn't show that.
No, it did. Bruv, like I said, this thing had so many open doors where nothing was essentially resolved in this thing. It was like it's like. But there's so many potholes in this thing. And just touching on what you said about schools just being female led, I want people to understand, because we're on the internet, a lot of things can be misconstrued. What Sarah is saying is that there are so many female teachers in schools that there is a serious lack of male teachers.
Yeah.
All right. In my son's primary school, one male teacher.
Yeah, and that's
teacher.
common. That's very common. You get one or two.
Yeah.
That's it.
My daughter's secondary school, went to her parents even a couple of months ago. 3 male teachers. All right, that's what we're driving at. There's not enough men in schools. Yeah, secondary school. Bro. Secondary school.
I remember my secondary school. We had a decent amount of male
So did we.
teachers.
So did we, bro.
So 3 is mad.
Yeah, 3 is, from what I saw, 3 at the parents' evening. But what the thing is right, what Saya is saying is that there is no male-led initiatives where a male teacher can metaphorically put their arm around a young man and be like, you know what, King? You're good, you know? You're good, you're good, you know? You, like, I know Saya hates the saying, but you are enough. I know you hate the saying, but you but you get where I'm driving at.
I get what you're saying.
You get where you're driving at, innit?
We had like our PE teachers. We had a PE teacher, one PE teacher named Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill was one of my favorite teachers. Yeah, he was just like, he was a ex-basketball coach, you know, and he just was very, you know, but he was cool, you know, them people that are just cool. He would banter with us, jokes with us, and he was just a male.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yes,
he wouldn't take no chat as well. Like, you know, like, it's just like there was a respect level there. Like with Mr. Hill, do you know what I mean? He would respect him, he would banter us, he would take the mick out of us. What are you wearing? What's that? Like, what, do you know what I mean? That kind of male banter that you need, but he wouldn't. But we knew the boundaries.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? With this kind of. So this is the kind of thing we need in the schools. Like, do you know what I mean? Not just a case where we're just being told to shut up.
Yes.
Essentially, that's what they're missing in these modern schools. They don't need to be playing, fucking.
A Netflix show during assembly, blood.
For people to be in the back of the class using it as a period to skive off.
Come on, man.
You know, oh yeah, let's go and watch that. Yeah. Nah, let's go and watch Netflix.
Yeah, you watch Netflix at school? Nah, man, not on my watch, bruv. But we're not. Even...
All right, let's see if we can.
See if we get through it.
All right, we're not gonna get through this whole thing. Let's see if we can get through half, and we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
On one specific case, but it could be, as Graham himself said in interviews.
I read an article in the paper. It was about a young boy who stabbed a young girl to death, and then there was a couple of months later on the news there was a piece about a young boy who stabbed a young girl to death, and these were at opposite ends of the country. If I'm really honest with you, Jim, I just, you know, it hurt my heart, and I just think, what kind of a society are we living in at the moment where young boys are stabbing young girls? And you know that beautiful saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I just thought, what if we're all kind of accountable? You know, the education system, parenting, the community, the government.
Yeah.
It was inspired
by... Oh, boom. This is the person who made the film. He's even saying, what if we're all accountable? The government, the education system, the parents. Like, why are we focused on Andrew Tate, blood?
Yeah.
A disturbing trend. A wave of real-life stories involving young men, misogyny, and violence. And the terrifying thing is, it's happening more often. The question isn't why did Jamie do this, it's why are so many boys starting to think like Jamie? Jamie doesn't lash out because he feels nothing for women. He lashes out because he feels too much and hasn't been given the tools to handle those emotions. And online, there are entire communities waiting to tell him, it's not your fault. She deserved it. You're the real victim here. There's one piece of toxic masculinity rhetoric that kind of plays out in this film. The infamous 80-20 rule.
80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. Woman, you must trick them because you'll never get them in a normal way. 80% of women are cut off or she's saying he's an incel, that.
It's a toxic little stat that turns dating into a rigged game and encourages resentment towards women for simply having choice. In Jamie's case, it becomes a kind of twisted logic. If women don't want him, it must be them, not him. And in a world where traditional gender roles are shifting and women are increasingly empowered, earning their own money, have their own independence, some men adapt. Others, like Jamie, retreat or fight back. But Adolescence doesn't point...
Jamie's a boy.
But
he's 13.
This is what I'm saying. This brother, he is a child. When the police went up in the place and caught him, this man pissed his pants, blood. He is a youth.
No, he's not met. You're talking about women. No, we're talking about children here.
I'm sorry. You know what? Big up this girl for creating the content. Brother, even though this is her opinion, way off base. Yeah, way off base. You're conflating a grown man to a boy.
Yeah.
A couple of years older than our sons. Like, simmer down.
Simmer down. Simmer down, lad.
Fingers easily. It doesn't say it's all social media or it's the parents or it's bullying. It sits in the grey area and asks us to sit there too. Was Jamie radicalized by the algorithm, neglected at home, failed by his school? Yes, all of it. And that's the point. The show leaves us with something heavier than closure. It leaves us with reflection, a challenge, to look beyond the headlines, to ask better questions, to stop pretending that this is rare, because Jamie, he's not the outlier, he's the warning. So let's talk about it. Let's sit with the discomfort, because if we want to stop raising boys who hurt others to feel powerful, we need to start raising boys who are allowed to feel at all.
I agree with that.
Facts.
At its
I agree with
core,
that.
Adolescence is the
Do you know what's a
story
bigger
of-
problem?
Go on.
Do you know the bigger problem?
Go on.
Knife crime among youths that listen to drill music
Yep.
and they're just that are just on the road in general.
Yes.
Just youths on the road. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a bigger problem. Why are we not talking about that?
Because apparently a 13-year-old boy is more important at this moment in time, during school time. You know?
Like, if we're talking about people who are killing people, is those youths.
It's those youths on the road.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those youths from across the country. I'm talking about across the country.
Yeah.
Because there's white youths, there's Asian youths, there's black youths that are all in a, you know, and that will be from like 13 to all the way up to 18. You know, they're just on road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how it used to be.
Facts.
Like you know what I mean, I was one of those youths that were just on road. I was never like mad enough to go do mad stuff. You know what I mean? I'll say nada, but I was never that person. But I was always a smart enough to know that. All right, I'm gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you do that. All right, but then I'll do this bit, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It was always a discernment. Like it had a boundary. You know what I mean? When I was at that age. You know what I mean? So that comes from a parenting. That comes from the parenting.
Yes.
There's a part in there that says, you know what, that doesn't seem that doesn't seem right. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like anyway.
Of a boy, a girl, and the unbearable pressure of modern masculinity. When we first meet Jamie Miller, he's already been arrested. A 13-year-old boy taken into custody after a violent attack that ends up in the unaliving of his classmate, Katie. But the most haunting part of this story isn't the act itself, it's the confusion around it. Why would a boy so young do something like this? Even the adults closest to the case can't explain it. The detectives, the teachers, his parents, they're all searching for an answer that makes sense. Was it bullying? Was it a breakup? Was it a mental health issue? Nothing quite fits until the detective's own son quietly reveals the missing link. He tells him what no one else saw.
They say you're an incel, you're gonna be, a virgin forever.
That Katie had mocked Jamie online. She called him an incel on Instagram. To adults, it sounds like typical teenage drama. But in Jamie's world, online, hyper-connected, deeply gendered, it means everything. Because the truth is, today's boys are growing up speaking a different language. One shaped not by their parents or teachers, but by algorithms, by group chats, by a constant feed of content that frames women as adversaries and emotions as weakness. And in that world, being called an incel isn't just an insult, it's complete identity collapse. It names a fear that many boys already carry, that they don't belong, that they'll never be wanted, that they're on the outside looking in. From that moment, everything in his world starts to unravel. Jamie's social media tells a quiet story, a steady exposure to explicit content, influencer culture, and hypermasculine messaging. He posts Instagram photos of adult women in compromising positions. He mimics the tone of online spaces that turn objectification into a joke, then into a worldview. What he's picking up here is not just misogyny, it's a whole emotional framework where vulnerability is weakness.
Where's the misogyny? I'm still struggling to find where the misogyny is.
Misogyny is the hatred of women. What? He seems to like women.
Yeah. Like,
so where's the misogyny at?
This is what I'm trying to figure out. Where is the why do people throw this word around, bro? That's what I'm saying. I believe this word was invented in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm still I'm sure people still don't understand what that word actually means.
Yeah, they don't. Most people think it's just if you sexually assault or if you grape a woman, that means you're a misogynist. But yes, even that doesn't necessarily mean you're a misogynist.
No,
that just means that you're a psycho.
Yeah,
that doesn't necessarily mean, like, if you're out here and you like there's a subtext, and I've looked at this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a subtext, okay, of like the men's space,
yeah,
that is actually called black pill, yeah.
But
now
I dare ask what that means.
Now the black pill, okay, is man them that I would say are misogynist,
right?
Because them man there just they are so hurt by women. Mm-hmm. That they really don't want to fuck with them at all. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Not that they're gay, but it's just that they just don't want to deal with them at all. And they are the ones that are really got it in their heads that I don't like fuck. Like they're the more aggressive ones. Mm-hmm. Like this is not that.
No.
This is, trust me, this is not that.
No.
There's all, you know what I mean? This is, if anything, those are like the far right.
Yeah.
They're like the far right of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is not that. Mm-hmm. This is looking at, freaking Andrew Tates and Fresh and Fit. Not even, that's not that.
Yeah,
that's not what they're talking about here.
I find it funny that he's putting them in the videos. I find it hilarious.
Where power means control, and where humiliation, whether it's his or someone else's, becomes a form of currency. Then there's Katie. She's confident, popular, sure of herself, everything Jamie doesn't feel. And when a private photo of her is leaked to the entire school, a clear violation, Jamie doesn't see it as abuse. He sees it as a shift in the dynamic. He tells Bryony, the child psychologist, that he thought that the leak would make her weak, and that maybe now she'd say yes to him.
Almost calling her slag, or flat or whatever, so I thought when she was like that weak, she might like me.
She would say yes to someone like him. It's one of the most disturbing moments in the show because it's not about cruelty, it's about conditioning. He's been taught that shame makes girls easier to access.
That's very mad. I remember that part. That was
must be broken before closeness is possible. But Katie doesn't play along to this narrative. She turns him down again.
Is that Diddy?
It's a confirmation that yes, he is invisible.
Is that Diddy,
And that shame,
why does it look like Diddy's face, bro?
It festers, it builds until it becomes something else. When Jamie's friend hands him a knife just to scare her, it becomes the final link in a long chain of fear, insecurity, and rage. And it ends in a moment that he can't take back. Jamie's story may be fictional, but it reflects something very real. His arc mirrors the case of Elliot Rodger, the 22-year-old whose 2014 attack left 6 people unalived and a manifesto behind.
Wow.
22, first of all. 22.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to read the whole of this thing just to see what it.
Right off it, bruv.
Up to that group of obnoxious guys in my drunken raid acted cocky and arrogant. It's possible to like it.
I tried to insult them as harshly as possible. First things first, if you're 22 years old and your handwriting is like that, bruv, that's abhorrent as far as I'm concerned, first of all. That's interesting. I didn't know this was a thing.
I didn't know the course. I
Yeah.
didn't know that this was a case. However, you're comparing a 13-year-old boy
To a 22-year-old man.
to a 22-year-old guy. Yeah, that's just nuts.
Roger framed his violence as a response to rejection, and in certain online communities, he became a twisted kind of symbol, and we see this in Adolescence. What Adolescence dares to show is that Jamie is a younger version of that narrative. What's interesting is in the background of Jamie's story is the detective, a father himself, distant, overworked, unaware of what his own son is consuming online. As viewers, we can see the same patterns forming right in front of him. His son is also being bullied, also aware of this incel ideology. His father doesn't see it in his own son. Jamie isn't just one boy who went too far. He's a reflection of what happens when shame, loneliness, and confusion meet a culture that tells boys that they're only valuable when they're dominant. He's the pattern. And if we don't start addressing the systems that created him, we're gonna keep seeing more stories just like his. Let's cast our eyes to the women in this story.
All right, let's pause it there
Let's
for a
pause it
minute.
there. Yeah,
We'll come back for part 2
absolutely.
on this
Because that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, guys, we're gonna touch base on this one. We'll see you guys in part 2. It's your boy King Prime.
It's your boy Sire the God.
You know who we be.
TDIP.
Obviously. Until next time, family, we will say
Peace.
peace.